chase success with Global.Media.com. Let's celebrate it with or without champagne or rum.
Oh. Man, I was getting excited. I was getting pumped for the music every time.
Yeah, me too.
I roll, yeah.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Demi and Simona, Lydia. Mr. N is already in the building. Yes, it's another Friday again. Our Positivity Live event where we come in here to bring the positivity to everyone around the world, one person at a time. So, want to appreciate everyone joining us from all social media platforms. We are streaming live now to Facebook, to LinkedIn, to YouTube, and so on. So, want to say a big thank you. And today's topic is another powerful one, a topic that is set aside to impact people from all over the world because we all need peace in our life. And we are going to show you practical ways by which we can bring peace through our positivity. Oh, yes, we already have amazing people joining us live on stage already. Mr. Kifa, hello, everyone from the United Kingdom. Adrian is in the building. Hi, everyone. Happy Friday. Yes, Mr. Nicholas. Hello, everyone. Yes, keep dropping in the comments. We want to shout you out. We want the world to know that you are here with us. Now, you know one beautiful thing about this event, we have a global audience that is watching us live from all over the world, and they are here to hear you speak. And if you want to be part of those on the stage, the link is already in the comment section. For those on LinkedIn, you can do where to be able to click on the link. It will take you directly to StreamYard, where you will be joining us live on stage to share your story, to impact the world, and share with us how you're using positivity to find peace in your everyday life. Like I always tell you, we are living in a time where positivity is non negotiable. It has been a game changer for everyone you see on stage right now. And we believe that positivity too can be a game changer for you. And that's why we bring this event every Friday to bring the awareness to let you know that in positivity, there's always endless possibilities. Yes, today I'm not the host today. We already have other co-hosts on stage with us. They are live, they are ready to pour into you tonight. And before I introduce the main co-host for today, I just want you guys to drop in the comment where you joining us from. Just drop in the comment. We want to know. We want to know you are here. We want to shout you out. We want the world to know how amazing you are. So, ladies and gentlemen, please let's give it up for our awesome, our amazing, our glorious, our charming, our wonderful chief host for today, Lydia. Thank you so much. You're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome.
Thank you so much, Zion. And I'm so happy to be here with my whole family. And that's Annie, and that's Simona, and that's Jamie, and that's Zion, and that's all of you out there. So thank you for joining us today. Today, we're talking about bringing peace into our lives through positivity. Now, first thing we need to do before we bring you up, but I want to, do we have somebody who has I'm going to drop the link into the comments, or maybe somebody else can do that. We're going to put the link in the comments for you so that you can come up and share what peace and positivity has done in your life. And we're going to share that with you as well. What I want to do first is tell you, I am Lydia. You've seen me before. If you've been here at the beginning of these, you have had a little bit of peace and calm and connection brought to you via a meditation section that we have every week. But we're going to talk about, because you're not dragging me around with you all the time, and you're not dragging around crystal bowls and little tinkly bells or anything like that. So how do we find that peace? I help you find that peace every day so that you can have Jedi calm. And that's what I do. And as well as writing music that also puts you in a good space. And what you are in right now is a safe and positive and exciting space. I want to turn the mic over. I'm going to give the mic first to Jamie and then to Simona to just introduce themselves. And then, Simona, you can pass the mic around until we get back and we'll start talking to some people.
Wow, for the first one here. This is amazing. Okay, this is new for me. What's going on, everyone? I'm Jamie, Jamie Edwards. I'm coming to you from the United States, right outside of Chicago, Illinois. It's about 1 o'clock in the afternoon here. So good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're coming from. And I know you don't see our names on our screens. Usually you'll see our names there, but what I'll tell you is there they are. Look at that. See, I just snap the finger, it goes. I'm a career coach, and I've been doing this now for 2.5 years on my own. I have my own company called Jam Sessions with Jamie. And what I do is I help job seekers every day with the 3 most important things on their job search, which is resume writing, interview practice, and LinkedIn optimization. I work with many job seekers every single day, and I help them with all 3 of those things. And the goal is ultimately to help them get more interviews and eventually land an opportunity and be able to take down their green open to work banner. Right. We're almost in the spring now, and hiring is starting to pick up. So, I'm working with a lot of people right now and just really helping them gain traction on their job search. And I've worked with over 500 different job seekers over the last 2.5 years. And if anyone in here, I know I've met a few of you through my discovery calls, but if anybody in here ever needs help with their job search, or you want to just have me review your resume, or just have a call and talk a little bit more about what I do, I'm happy to have a conversation. It's kind of a nice way to just nice way to stop the whole job search every single day and doing the same thing every single day. We actually have a conversation and try to see if I can help you out or put together an action plan for you. Happy to help. That's a little bit about what I do. I'm excited for today's topic here, talking about bringing peace to our lives through positivity. We got a lot of good stuff to share today, and we got pretty much almost our whole team on here today, which is awesome. So we're gonna have a lot of good conversations. So that's a little bit about me. I see the comments are still coming through, so thank you guys. Please be vocal in the chat, and anything you want to say, questions in here. If you want to just talk to people through the chat, we want to hear you. We want to see people be vocal, and we want to get some people up on stage here later on, so you can share your thoughts as well to our conversation today. I'm going to pass it over to Lydia. Who am I passing it over to next?
We're going to go with Simona, because it's been a little while since everybody's gotten to see Simona, and we want to hear from her. So Simona, mic's yours.
Sounds good.
Thank you. Hi, everyone. I'm Simona, and I'm showing my face for the first time here. I'm a writer, and I would rather be doing this with my notebook in the background, but it's good. I'm happy to be here. I love this group. And yeah, so I'm mainly a copywriter and a content creator, and I'm currently in Spain, but I was born in Czech Republic and raised in Sweden. Probably going to move back to Sweden very soon. And yeah, I work with companies mainly in wellness, health, travel, a little bit of tech, and yeah, I guess that's a little bit about me. I have done this job for about 6 years. I also translate, by the way, so that's a lot of fun too. And yeah, I'm happy to be back. I've been gone for a while, and I'm ready to share my thoughts and to listen to all of you. And I think it's going to be great. So yeah, passing the mic on to Annie.
Great.
Annie, you're on mute. There you go.
You're back now, Simona, for sure. Let me welcome Dr. Marcia. I see you. Joni, welcome. I'll send the link. So here's the link again in the comments, I think. Yeah. So do join us, Joni. I'll send to your DM in a second. Dr. Dorothea, we'll see you too. Nahid, welcome as well. Some amazing people here. So we'd love to hear your thoughts. Do come in the studio. Jamie, have you lost weight? You're looking great. That's for me, Jamie.
Yes, thank you, Dorothy. I have lost 60 pounds the last 4.5, 5 months. So I'm glad you noticed that. Thank you so much for that compliment.
Tell us how you do it, Jamie. That's what we need to know, right? So OMG, Fantastic Five are all here. No, thank you so much, Omar. You're far too kind to your words. No, thank you so much, everyone. Look, it's a great day. Every day is great in this life, right? Every day is great. Today is greater than others because I'm doing a book launch as we speak. Well, I've had a book launch party for Laverne P. Oliver and her book, which is her life story, late to the game but winning. That's what I do for a living. I help people to write their book, publish their book, and sell their book. So my mission right now, my focus mentally is on making Laverne's book an international best-selling book. That way, she has the title for life of being an international bestseller. And that means that every other book she writes from now on will have more visibility, reach more people, impact more people. Like I say, it's a badge that she has for life. And that's like when she walks into a room, they introduce her. It wouldn't just be Laverne, the author, it'd be the international best-selling author, Laverne Oliver. And that gives me joy. So we've had the book launch party. There's always more that we're doing in the background for book launches and bestseller campaigns. I mean, when I say I guarantee to make someone a bestseller, there's a reason I say that. I know what's involved. Part of that is asking people like you who are here today to go and buy her book, please. I'll put the link in the comments. I think the book is $1.99. So if you can buy the book, please support the authors in our lives. Especially if you're an author yourself, you may well need us to support you one day. And we tend to remember who supports us. I'm not threatening, I'm just saying the facts, right? Support each other. Support each other, and you get to know what goes around comes around, my friends. That's the way to look at it, right? So I'll share the link. If you can support Laverne, then great. Say if you can't, maybe you just share the message to your network to see who can support her, who can buy the book for that low. The price will never be as low as it is today. Launch price is the lowest it's ever going to be. Say in pounds is £1.56. When you're going to get come to this time tomorrow evening, the book will back to £10.99 and so on and so forth, right? So now buy the book today and do a good deed. I mean, you read the book, you might even learn something, right? I'm sure you're going to enjoy it. I know you're going to enjoy it. So now do support us as best you can, my friends. Tracy, I see you. Colleen, welcome as well. Kiefer's bought his book, so I'm glad you're here as well, Kiefer. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for buying the book. And hello, Tracy. Peace be unto you, he says. So that's welcome, everyone. That's me for today. I'm passing the mic to Mr. Zion.
Mm-hmm.
Amazing. Great work, team. It's so great to have the entire team. I know we still have one person left, but then to have majority of the team live on stage today, it's just exciting and mind-blowing. And for me, I'm very, very yes, Simona, that's the spirit. Yeah. So for those who don't know me, I know you all know me, but for those who don't know me still, my name is Zion Indegiri, and I'm definitely joining you all the way from Nigeria. For me, I'm a man on a mission to spread positivity to every corner of the earth, one person at a time. I help individuals and businesses embrace positivity to ignite themselves to be able to attain success in everything they do. And that's why I always say in positivity, there's always positivity. There's always possibility, yes. So when you approach anything with a positive mindset, it simply means you are possible to achieve that thing. So I want to say a big welcome, and it's always exciting. Do well to keep dropping in the comments so we can shout you out and know where you are joining us from around the world. In the meantime, I'm going to pass my back to Lydia.
All right. Thank you, Zion. And all of you are out there looking for this group because you come here for positivity. You come here and you're heard, and you come here and you're witnessed. And we want you to come up here and give your shout outs. You can talk about what is peace to you. You can talk about who here that you wish peace for and what kinds of sharings of peace that you have. Right now, I'm going to start us off with something that I tend to start us off with, but I'm going to start us off a little differently. So we have a meditation section of this room. And when you're here early enough, you've probably caught that. And I turn off the camera so that there's no distractions. And I encourage you to breathe and breathe your eyes closed. And I do that while playing different instruments, mostly crystal bowls and Tibetan bowls. And right now I'm going to do that without the bowls. And we're going to just do that because it's something that we can do without all that foof and fluff, right? So sometimes we just need to breathe on our own and get ourselves grounded again. So right now, I'm going to ask you to take a deep breath and notice the air as it enters your nostrils. And notice the warmth of the air as it exits your nostrils. If you're in a good place to do so, allow the breath to close your eyes. If you're not in a good place to do so, you don't need to breathe deeply. You can just notice your breath, and you can notice the color of the person's eyes that you're talking to. You can notice the color, the texture of their hair. And you can notice the gentle rising and falling of your breath. And that rising and falling is something that happens automatically. You can depend on it. It's something of wonder and gratitude. So as you breathe in, notice those things about you that you can depend on. And the more you notice them, the more you feel that stability and that peace. You were brought here whole and complete. The blood running through your blood vessels. You were brought here whole and complete. The air going into your lungs and going all throughout your body. You were brought here whole and complete. And you have a special spark that only you have, and each of us does. And we can only notice it if we have that peace, that calm. Even in the most energetic space, when we want to kick a football, jump in a stream, anything that we do like that, even with all of that energy, has a calm that can come from us. So as you breathe, notice that calm. Notice that peace. Feel your connection to the earth. and feel that energy come up and into you, unconditionally supporting you every moment of your life. And notice the energy of peace around you and in you, everywhere, unconditionally loving you every moment of your life. Tap into that. Anytime, even in the middle of a conversation, you can breathe in peace. And at home, just as we have crystal bowls and Tibetan bowls, and sometimes my singing, and different pitches and vibrations here in the room, you can get this as well. You can go onto your phone or onto your computer and find recordings of things like instruments that are meant to bring you peace, align your chakras, or simply allow you to rest. And if you don't have that, notice the farthest away sound that you can hear. These are vibrations too. Can you hear a bird? I hear the wind. Can you remember the wind? Do you hear the sea? As you breathe in peace. Always, you are the peace. And just as you have the ability to find the peace in these rooms, you also have the ability to find the peace right in the middle of a stressed moment. And the more that you tap into that grounding, that unconditional supportive energy from the earth, that unconditional love from everything around you, the cosmos and onward, you feel less and less stress because you are whole in your peace inside of you. So if it's just one breath, allow yourself that one breath so that you don't feel the stress. And at home, you can do this for yourself. If you've closed your eyes, I'm going to count to 5, and you can open your eyes at the end of my count. Breathing in and breathing out. 1, 2, 3, stretching, yawning, 4, and 5. If you closed your eyes, welcome back. If you didn't close your eyes, you are welcome here. We are here to talk about strategies for peace. And I just gave you one, and it's one that I give you with more tools sometimes, but like I said, you can do this yourself. And another thing that we can do is to be hole in our energy. And what we talk about, what we call this is being sovereign. And being sovereign means you have a nice permeable space between you and everybody around you, and you give permission for them to be in their space, and you have permission to be in your space. There's a great teacher named Jeffrey Allen who gives the image of a rose. And I like to give this image to people where you put the rose in front of you. And this is just, you can see this rose. It can be blooming or it can be a beautiful blossom in front of you. And you can put this rose in front of you. And that is the edge of your energy. And everything inside of that is your space. And the rose is nice and flexible. When somebody comes in for a hug, it just comes right between you. And that is your sovereign energy. Everything that is your spark. And it's not like a barrier against other things. It's very permissive. And it's not like you just letting everything through. It's your energy and your peace being allowed to be in this space. And everybody else's energy and everybody else's peace is in their space. And there's an easy flow of that good energy between. But anything else, you have the time to observe it, to forgive it, to have compassion for it, to love it, and know that different energies go through and we don't need to absorb them. That rose of permission is a really good way to keep your energy to yourself. And the moment that you meet someone, you automatically give them a rose too. They automatically have that energetic rose to keep them in their space. So right now, we're starting to have people on the stage. I want to hand the mic over to Zion to say how he finds peace in his life.
All right. Thank you so much, Lydia. Firstly, I want to say a very big thank you. Anyone who is listening live right now, I want you to drop in the comments. Lydia, thank you. Lydia, we love you. Lydia, we appreciate you because she does this for us every Friday. The meditation section, which is powerful. And I tell you that the topic says bringing peace to our life through positivity. And one way to bring positivity is through meditation. So, Lydia, want to say a big, big thank you for everything you are doing to help us embrace that calmness, that serenity, that is very conscious about positivity. So, thank you, thank you, thank you so much. Yes, for me, it's powerful when you talk about bringing peace to our life through positivity. And if there's one thing I want to let you know, it's peace is not the absence of war. Peace is not the absence of chaos. Peace is not the absence of tough times, of challenges. No, it is how you respond in the midst of those things that happen. In the midst of the challenging situation, in the midst of the tough situation, in the midst of what might look like a storm in your life right now, in the midst of what will look like a challenge in your life right now, you might be lingering on. How do you respond? Is how we experience peace. And that's why we are coming in here today to let you know that positivity is a game changer. It has changed our lives. And I tell you, it's changing people's life every day. And we are bringing this awareness to let you know that embracing positivity is not a choice. It should be a priority for you. Because why? You can turn your life around 360 degrees one day at a time. So how do I experience peace? How do I bring peace into my life through positivity? First is loving myself. Loving myself. In the midst of what I go through, in the midst of what life throws at me, in the midst of the challenges, I've learned to love myself. I used to be so hard on myself, thinking, oh, I'm not good enough, thinking I'm not worth it, thinking nothing good can ever come out of me. And by so doing that, I'm always looking at the external factors to make me have peace. I'm always looking at the external things, to make me come to that fulfillment. But at the end of the day, I realized that the true fulfillment that I seek is within me. The peace that I seek is within. Peace is not without, it's within. From the within, you are fed the without. So loving myself, it's non-negotiable. I've learned to love myself in the midst of the most daring situation, in the midst of the worst mistake. What might look like a mistake that I've done that is so daring, that is so life-threatening, I still learn to love myself. Love myself. So whatever it is you are going through right now, it doesn't matter what people have said about you. It doesn't matter people's opinion about you. It doesn't matter people's conclusion about you. One thing I've learned in my journey is people will always have their opinion about you, no matter how good you are, no matter how well presentable you are. People will always have their opinion about you. But at the end of the day, the opinions that matters is your opinion about yourself. So my question is, what are you saying about yourself? What is your conclusion about yourself? How do you see yourself? How do you perceive yourself? How much do you love yourself? Yet most times we are waiting for people to love us, our spouse, our family, our father, our mother, our children to love us. It's good, it's beautiful, but if there's one way that I've truly found peace through positivity, it's loving myself unconditionally. You matter. You are enough. Your life is worth it. You know, for some persons, when good things begin to happen to us, it's so good to be true. We find it difficult to embrace it. One way for me to find peace is loving myself. And secondly, I will end with this. It's true forgiveness. It's true forgiveness. You know, we live in a world where people are going to step on your toes. People are going to do things that you don't like. People are going to do things that is life-threatening to you. You know, for me, I used to live in a place of unforgiveness. You know, so when somebody does something to me, I can hold it in my heart for years. I will remember the date, the time it happened. Whenever I see you, I'm angry. My heart is beating faster because I want to punch you so hard because you did something wrong to me. Now, that was chaotic. That was traumatic because whenever I see the person I'm holding reservation for, my heart begins to beat faster. Even though I was having a nice time, whenever I see the person, my countenance begins to change. So I couldn't go through that chaos anymore. Why? Because it was temporary with my mental health, how I see things, how I see my life. But then embracing forgiveness for me has really helped me brought peace into my life through positivity. Who is that person that I've done something wrong with to you? Maybe for some persons, they hold grudges of 20 years back, 30 years back. You know, you are who you are today. I heard somebody said, oh, I'm where I am today in life because of what somebody did to me 20 years ago. I'm like, really? Okay. I'm here. My life is this because somebody did something to me 50 years ago, 20 years ago, 10 years ago, as the case may be. One thing is for you to move on, to truly live the life that you want to live, that life of peace, that life of joy, that life of happiness, that life of positivity is letting go wrongdoings. Letting go. It might be difficult, it can be painful. Let go so you can move forward. Because unforgiveness is like a trap. It's like a spider web. The more you try to remove one, the more you are entangled more and more. So embracing forgiveness for me is something that has really helped me bring peace into my life. Right now, people wrong me. All I do, I smile and I move on. Why? Because what you do to me does not determine the trajectory of my life. The wrong you did to me, the whatever it is that you have done to me does not determine how my life will span out. I determines my life. I determines where my life will go. So by so doing, I take charge. So forgiveness has helped me take charge of my life. So let me know that I decide my peace, not people, not situation, not circumstances. So I encourage everyone under the sound of my voice, you are joining us live today, embrace the power of forgiveness. Unforgiveness is like taking poison and waiting for somebody else to die. It doesn't work like that. So you must embrace self-love and embrace forgiveness. And with that, I tell you, you're going to experience peace and tranquility beyond your widest imagination. So that's my 2 cents today on the topic. Thank you so much, Lydia. I yield my back to you.
All right. Thank you so much. That thing that you're talking about is presence. And we have this life, and that this life is a present, and we can be present in it. But if we're going with all that stuff in our past, and we all have stuff in our past, every single one of us, and whatever our stuff is in our past or right now is uniquely thorny for us because it's exactly the thing that really bugs us. Otherwise, it wouldn't bug us, right? And that's just the thing. It's all subjective. And that's what Zion's talking about. I love that, Zion. The more that we stick with somebody else wronging us, the more we are wallowing in sorrow. Anyway, I want to pass the mic to Simona. Simona, let us know what you think of peace and how you get peace in your life.
Yeah, thanks, Lydia. I also wanted to just say something about what Zion said about loving yourself. I just want to say that even if you look yourself in the mirror and you feel like you don't love yourself right now, I think you can still find peace in knowing that you can change that. I think that's a very powerful thing. Yeah. So I was reflecting a lot about peace and I came up with a few things. And I think that peace can be found in many different places. I think it can be found in not thinking there is something wrong with you, for example. And that goes back to the acceptance as well, right? Not looking too much back, but if you do know that there can be a better future, that feels very peaceful to me. I think it can be found in conversations with people we love, with people that we trust. And yeah, just having that shoulder, that's very peaceful. And letting go of regrets, like was mentioned before, that we all have a past. We all have done stuff maybe we're not proud of. And I think it's human to tend to look back, but we can use that. We can use that as fuel. And again, I want to point out that there can be a new beginning. I've seen that in my life. I was for a time in a space where I lived with a lot of regret, and it began to consume me. And that's not a great place to be. But finally, when I could say to myself, okay, I've done this, I can never go back, but I know that there is a future. That felt that it gave me a sense of peace and made me a little bit calmer, and knowing that I'm still here, and I can still change my path. And another thing that I believe people can find peace in, that has been the case for me, is actually in prayer. Knowing that there is a God that accepts, that listens, that forgives. Um, and this started to be a part of my journey not so long ago, but it's been very peaceful. And it's been like an invisible shoulder to cry on. And I know that not everyone believes that that's okay. It's just one more thing that I think we can use to find a bit of acceptance and a little bit of relief. And I have to say, also, instability. It's very important that we have stability. I think as humans in general, knowing that we have food on our table, knowing that we have a job, not being in chaos actually every day, I think those go a little bit against each other. I think it's important that we do what we can to make sure that our surroundings are peaceful. But I also know that we can find moments of peace even in chaos. Um, but I do think that it's important. And I think it's an instinct to kind of survive when we are in very difficult situations that makes it more difficult to be in a state of peace. And I think that's okay if that takes us further. We can use that as fuel to get us out of tough situations and find a job maybe, or leave an abusive relationship, whatever that may be, and work towards that peace, that more long term peace. Yeah, I do have a few more thoughts, but I'm gonna leave it there. I think that's what I want to share with you all, and I really hope that it helps. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Simona. There's a peace inside of us, whatever you call it, and it is there. And that your attachment to all of the energy all around you, whatever you call it, that's your peace in the middle of the chaos. That's your peace in the middle of the strife. And yeah, when we come from a place of survival, which we all have to sometimes, but then we have to stop surviving and come back to the peace when we're out of the situation, because that just, it actually raises the cortisol in our in our bodies and makes us feel more stressed and less able to respond. Annie, let's hear from you. Where's that mic? There it is.
No, I found it. I found it, Mike. Emanuela, I do see you. So welcome. I'd love to welcome everyone. Also, I see Linda, everyone in Canada. Glad you're here. Dr. Roxana, one of our co-authors in anthology, see behind me in Zion. She has got 6 other books out as well, so do connect with her for sure. Alexander, welcome. We haven't seen you for a while, my friend. Glad you're here, though. It's a property investment genius. I'm glad you're here for sure. If I miss anyone out, Rosemary, our Positivity B, glad you're here as well. Thank you for joining us. All right, now this topic, finding your peace, probably the most important thing in life. I probably lived 35 years doing, being happy and just doing. I think there comes a time when I realized there's just still something missing. I think, in business, it's probably at that point you reach where you almost feel like you're going around in circles. Nothing I do makes anything better. Some of us call it peaks and troughs, good days, bad days, and so that's just how life goes, right? And so that's when I had to really look at myself and, what could I do differently? Now, as Zion said, the answer was look within rather than looking outside. I think we're all very good at looking outside. If I work harder, if I do more of anything, if I get seen by more people, if I get heard by more people, if I sell more, if I just do more, then I'll be happier. Look, I guess the way my mindset coach sort of made me understand in the end is like, we tend to behave like flies. A fly wants to get out. That's what they want to do. They just want to get outside. Fresh air, wind, call it what you like, right? They see a window and they're like, oh, outside is there. I must get out. And what happens, if you haven't said this before, then, one more time never hurts, right? The fly will fly harder at the window. It's like, because outside, I must get out. It's there. I can do it. They work harder. They work longer. Guess what happens? The fly is going to eventually die. Because it can't get out from that window. The window is closed. All right. If only the fly had looked left and seen the door open. Freedom really is through that door, right? That's like us trying to find our peace, where we keep trying harder and harder, more effort, more. But we don't find that peace, don't find the happiness. Because that happiness is truly within. It's this is where positivity comes into the equation. We must find our joy. It will say peace now, but it is just that being able to live every day without the stresses of life, without the stresses that we normally have. When I was an employee, every day was a pain. Every day I was stressed. Because you have to deal with people. Don't know how they're going to behave. Don't know what their problems are. What they're going to put on you today. It's just like, leave me alone. But then I found positivity and mindfulness. So the way I found my peace, Lydia, to answer the question directly, is simply I found a sense of purpose. There's a reason why I live. Rather than working for someone else and chasing their dreams, I'm happier chasing my dreams. And lucky for me, my dreams really bring me peace because my dreams involve helping others. There's nothing more. No, every day when I wake up, it is a case of who can I help today? How can I really impact humans? How can I help people in a big way? That's why today I started off with my book launch, because my happiness comes from helping others. That's where my true joy lies. Again, for anyone here, so I know this to be a fact. When we are doing for others, we almost ignore our limitations, our problems. I mean, again, here's an example. I say, I'm speaking to you now. I could do this saying, Emmy, you must be perfect. Don't make a mistake. Don't forget what you're going to say. It's not that. My thinking is more, I've got a message that I think you want to hear. So how I say it almost doesn't matter. If I make a mistake, so what? As long as I serve you, as long as I do my best to help you, that's where my peace comes from. Every day I live in that happy world. If someone says to you, Annie, you've done it wrong, I'll be like, unfortunate, I'll learn. Let's move on. Again, Simona has mentioned, I guess, not forgiving yourself. So Zion, right? And forgiving others. I think when you live with the right intentions to help others, you almost can't be bothered by anything. Because when someone comes to me and says, Annie, you've done that wrong, I'm like, oh, I did my best. I don't like it. I'll do better next time. And that's where I find peace. Let's say now, when you find that sort of peace at work, there's nothing more joyous. Every day is a blessing, really. I suppose the last I would say, no, maybe two more. I practice mindfulness every day. Again, Zion mentioned meditation. Lydia, so we've done meditation today. I'm saying I start my day every day meditating. And I write my goals, and which is restating my purpose to myself to remind me what I'm trying to do for my life and my day, right? I'm trying to help. And then I'll meditate. I was doing 5-minute meditations, Lydia. I think I'm now up to 21 minutes meditations each day. It is finding that peace. It's a moment to relax your brain and just be. Find yourself. Let all the stresses of life go. Let all the the what ifs disappear for a second, for 21 minutes, really, in my life, right? But it carries on beyond that, obviously, because now when you find your peace, that's real peace. And that's joyous every day. The last I'll say, I guess many of my problems, many of my issues were when I was younger. I'm talking about 2 months ago, 3 months ago, right? And beyond that. The people we have to deal with every day, our family and friends. Our relationships gives us the most stress in the world. If we can find peace in our relationships, our life is infinitely happier. We'll find real peace. I've mentioned it before here, where I used to have this issue where I work for hours and I think, oh, I'm gonna go and get a cup of tea. So I have to see the family downstairs. And I think, oh, they're going to be angry. They're going to be in a bad mood. So I'm going to be in bad mood too. Yeah. I'm going to brace myself and go and do it. And I'll go downstairs. Invariably, there'll be an argument because I'm angry. What never dawned on me was I'm the angry one. I thought they were the angry ones. One day it dawned on me, it's you and it's not them. So now I've learned to basically be happy myself. And when I go and see them, everything goes along beautifully. We have conversations. We're present. We're nice to each other. We listen to each. You and me, we talk properly rather than having arguments. I mean, the building those relationships with the right people around you that truly is joyful, is honest, is kind. That's where I find peace. And ultimately, my friends, every day in this little bubble is it's like a dream, right? I mean that sincerely. 50 years later, if I eventually find this peace that we've been talking about for so long, that's what I'm sharing with you today, my friends.
You can grab that piece in a moment, and you can also cultivate it in those long moments, right, Annie? And you can have mindful moments, and you can also have mind neutral moments, and just let the thoughts go, and or observe them but not judge them. It brings us to more peace. I love everything that you just said. Jamie, if you could tell everybody a little bit about how you find peace in your life, and then if you could introduce the first couple of speakers, that would be fantastic.
Sure, that'd be great. Yeah, I'll keep it brief here, just because I know we're want to get to some of these great people who want to speak here. But we've shared a lot of good stuff about what bringing peace looks like into our lives, right? And for me specifically, when I think of how I bring peace to my life, I think of I kind of do things from a simple perspective, right? I wake up in the morning, and like I said, the first thing I do is thank God for allowing me to wake up, right? For opening my eyes, for being able to get my day started. And I always think about, I always start my day with gratitude, right? And some of you have heard me on this call before, but like what I like to do is I like to write down and jot things down in a journal, right? I like to put my thoughts down sometimes, things I'm working on. I like to also jot down things that I'm grateful for, right? Could be every day. Just think, what am I thankful for that day? And I think about those things all the time, because no matter what the day was like beforehand, or if things were a little rough, or maybe me and let's just say me and my significant other had an argument or something going on, right? Like, I think about it. It's a new day. This is what I'm thankful for, and I'm ready to start that day with gratitude, right? One thing I also like to do too is I like to surround myself. The way I bring peace into my life is I like to surround myself with people who are positive, right? I try to, there's people who, I used to feel like were my friends in life, right? Who I, thought looked out for me, and they eventually ended up, kind of being negative people, and not somebody I could see myself associating with the future, in the future. So I keep a small group of friends, but I also surround myself with those people who are positive, right? So people who are uplifting, who are supportive, right? I like to, there's people in my LinkedIn connections and social media and Facebook, all these people, there are people who in my life who I want to be around, right? Who are always sharing positive thoughts and stuff like that. And that helps me not expose myself to that negativity, right? Or anyone that could be a toxic relationship. So, I really focus on, just being around like-minded people like myself. And it really helps me to bring out more positivity in myself, right? And be the best person that I can be. Another thing, I'll kind of bring up one more thing too, is I always, it's all about trying to do things for other people, right? And I'm not saying a full-blown servant leader, right? But I always try to make sure when I'm out and about that I'm always doing some sort of act of kindness, right? It could be something as simple as if I'm going to the grocery store and I see somebody maybe elderly, right? Or somebody behind me, and I want to open the door for them, right? Or maybe it's as simple as going to, like, I went to my daughter's dance practice today, right? And I think someone's, grandma dropped off their daughter, and I like the color of her nails. I said, I really like your nails. It's a pretty color, right? Things like that, like, they go a long way. It brings other people peace and fulfillment in their life, right? And for me, when I can do something for somebody else, as long, they give me a simple thank you, I know it means something. I just like to do little nice things and realize that they stack up and they go a long way, right? And not just for other people too, but I think someone mentioned this before, but like, I bring, another last thing I bring peace in my life is that I prioritize myself and my self-care, right? Making sure, Dr. Dorothea said, that she saw I lost weight, right? That was a choice that I made, and prioritize that self-care, right? And I wanted to see if I could, try to see if I could be strong enough to be able to do this and maintain calorie deficit and start doing things to try to lose some of the weight, right? So I started realizing that, self-care is obviously, so important to me. And that's, one thing that brings peace to me is knowing that I'm going to sleep, I'm getting enough sleep, I'm eating a little bit better than I used to eat, right? I'm staying active, things like that. Those things bring me joy and they bring peace in my life as well when it comes to positivity. So, that's just a few of the different ways that I injected in my life. And I'm excited to see what everyone else, wants to share in terms of their lives and how they bring peace to themselves. So I think we're going to go ahead and bring some great people up on stage here. So let's start with, I don't see the names up here again, but I know I do know who's first too, I believe. So we're going to start with Lowe's. So let's go with Lowe's first. If you want to go ahead and unmute your mic or if you want to put your video on, you're more than welcome to. Please share what your thoughts are on today's topic.
Good evening, everybody. I'm Loes Pijpers from the Netherlands, and thank you all for sharing your great story. Tomorrow we are celebrating International Women's Day, the strength, resilience, and joy that women bring into the world. In a world where there is a lot of happening, let's focus on the positivity and the power of positivity. Think of the women who inspire us, the dreamers, the doers, the ones who lift us up with a smile or a good idea. Positivity isn't just a feeling, it's a choice to see potential, to build bridges and create a change. Let's share that energy online and beyond. Celebrate a woman in your life. Simply say thank you. Together we can make positivity the loudest message of all. Happy International Women's Day. Thank you.
Outstanding, short and sweet, and I love that. Bring it up, yes. International Women's Day, big deal, right? I mean, it's thankful for all the women who are doing big things all over the world. I mean, there's just a lot to celebrate there, and the woman in my life, right, which is my mom, right? I mean, she's somebody who was a big part of my life and raised us all on her own, and big shout out to her for that. And yes, I think that's awesome that you recognize that. And we should all recognize that. And it should be definitely a cause for celebration. So thanks so much, Lowe's, for talking about that and for sharing your thoughts today. And let's keep this conversation going here. And I want to bring up our next speaker here. I want to bring up Jo. So she's going to go ahead and share her thoughts. I still can't believe we haven't gotten together, Jo, in real life yet, since you're only 25, 30 minutes away from me. But we gotta make that change. And we gotta get lunch sometime and figure that out soon. So, Jo, go ahead if you want to share your thoughts. Whoa.
Lydia, will you accept this rose? It is for you.
Wow, I didn't know this was Jo. On second thought, Jo, maybe I'll skip the lunch. I don't know I don't know about that now. You're only a half hour. I'm gonna lock my doors.
I got it. I am not. I'm not drinking. I have not lost my mind. But I found it cleaning out my kid's toy basket, and I just, wanted to bring some humor into this because humor is everything. That is what makes my life feel more positive. And because, gosh, I personally have suffered a lot of trauma in my life. And if you can't laugh, you can't have some fun, you can't be okay with who you are. Oh, what's the point? You guys are so right about decluttering friends who are not impactful, and also get who you are, that you're a little bit quirky, a little bit weird, a little bit, fun. And I think that is such a gift that I have been able to give myself as I have gotten older. And I think, just, kind of living the life that if for you, not for other people, is really very important to having peace. But all of your comments really meant a lot to me. I mean, I practice meditation, I read. I think constant reading is incredibly important on all topics, from fiction to nonfiction to literary news to, children's books. Gosh, the amount of research that there is out there that you read to your kids, they'll become smarter. And so that is pretty important to me. And you know what? Like, I like to laugh. I really do. And that is a good thing about me that I will not, let people take from me. So, anyways, thank you for letting me be a little
No,
Bachelorette number one. Bachelorette number one is Lydia.
I love it. I love it. I love it, Joe. Thanks for sharing your thoughts. I admit I did not have on my bingo card today terrifying clown giving a bachelor rose to Lydia, but here we are, right? So we
I
expect,
mean, just anything can happen. Anything.
expect the other.
Anything can happen at my house. I
Let me,
promise I'll
yeah.
always bring it down to normal. But
Yeah, let me 1 second. Let me lock my front door here since you're so close over here. But no, it's all good. I love that. I love that. That was great. So yes, well, we got the humor. We got some great people sharing their thoughts here today. This is like I said, this is what this is all about. The comments are moving in the chat here. I don't know if you want to share any more comments in here. And if you want to throw some comments up here, let's see. I'm looking through here. Kifa says peace is also taking time for ourselves. Great share, Jamie. I agree. I love that. There we go. There we go. Yeah, we got some really good stuff here. Mayoa says surrounding oneself with positive friends and not the negative ones help. It's a great deal. Definitely, 100%. Colleen says the human touch is important, something AI would not do. Yes, very true. Human touch is so important, right? We deal a lot with AI and think about how it makes our lives easier in a way, but really that human touch is something that just can never be replaced, right? So awesome shares from, like I said, from Lowe's and Joe up here. And I'm going to pass it, I think, over to Lydia. Do you want to introduce the next two people?
All right. Well, thank you so much for doing that for a while. And thank you for the rose. I appreciate it. And yeah, if we take ourselves so seriously that we can't enjoy stuff in our life, no matter why are we here? We all have all that stuff. Some of us are having that stuff right now, and you got to take a break from your own seriousness. So actually, instead of there's a couple more people and yep. So Jamie is now a cheesehead, and if
Yeah, sorry, Joe. I'm actually a
I'm
Packer
loving
fan.
where
I'm
this
sure
is
if
going.
Joey, you're a Bears fan, I'm sure, but I grew up a Packer fan, so there's my cheesehead hat right there. So I'll wear it for a little bit. Why not? Okay.
No. Oh,
Right.
that's so
It's
creepy.
gone. There we go. It's gone. You scared it off my head.
oh
This
my
does
goodness.
not bring me peace, a clown head. But it brings laughter. That's for sure.
And for our next two, actually, Simona, we are so excited to have you here. Why don't you introduce Michael and Dr. Dorothea, and we'll get the next part of the party started.
Absolutely. Thank you. Which order? Sorry,
I think we'll go with Michael next, and then Dorothea
Okay.
next.
Perfect. Let's go with that. Hi, Michael. Welcome. You can unmute your mic, and yeah, you can show us your face or not, however you choose.
Hi,
Hi.
my name is Michael. I live in the United States, currently in California, Victorville. Um, at work, of course, that's why you hear a number of people in the background. Um, I wanted to actually express something similar to what Um, and he expressed in regards to what brings him peace. He started off by saying that looking outside, he no longer does that. And that is something, a function that I used to do, is look towards other people and try to make them happy first before I make myself happy. I grew up that way. Um, Entertaining people. My father will have people come in, or my mom will have people come in. Guests were more important than yourself. You had to make sure that they were okay and well. And that's what I found, was basically my function, was to make sure that everybody else was okay. And never really looked at myself to find out what I wanted, what I liked, what I enjoyed, who I was, what I was, and why I was put on this earth. I ended up thinking that I was an alien. Every once in a while, I do go into that mode where I actually do tell people that I am someone from a different universe, different world altogether. It's called the planet Earth. That's where I'm from. But that being the case, there was a time when I nearly lost my life, and I indicated to myself, what do I need to know about myself? Because I nearly lost it there. I nearly lost my family. I nearly lost my kid. I nearly lost everything that I held dear, and not everything that I held dear. So, what was very important to me, and how do I get there? I didn't know. The only thing that I knew is that I needed to get there. I need to get there fast. No kidding around. This is serious business. So, what I did was I basically internalized everything. I blocked everybody out. I blocked everything out as much as I possibly could and just focused on me. Music was my outlet. And this came during a convenient time since it was COVID. And um, then that was a time when things just culminated, especially for me. And, um, I, and then it was a time for me to actually look into myself inside and see what was actually going on and why, what I wanted, where I wanted to be, and how I wanted to get there. Not how I wanted to get there, but where I wanted to be. And then after that, how I wanted to get there. Music was my outlet. Music is my peace. Music is everything to me. I listen to it all day, all night. And there are different types of things that I listen to with respect to that. It helps me with my mind, it helps me with my body, it helps me um, physically, mentally, spiritually get to where I need to go during any particular time in my life or any particular moment of my day. I find peace in that. And finding peace in myself is very important because um, when I'm in a peaceful place, I can always respond in a peaceful manner, in a manner that acquiesces to everybody and anyone that I come across. I don't have issues. They're the ones that have issues. But we work it out in collaboration with each other and try and find a resolution, whatever the case might be, in collaboration. That is how I live my life these days, and that is how I will continue to do so until I find an alternative approach. But that's what I wanted to leave you with. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Wow, I was quite taken by that. Thank you for sharing something that was quite personal, and thank you for talking about music, having an outlet when everything was so difficult. And as a creative, I know that it can be so powerful to have a place where you turn to. And I love that music does that for you. And I'm sure that it can help others as well. For me, it's been writing. For you, it's music. And we can definitely all find our way. Yeah. Thank you so much. And I heard that piece and it affected me and it kind of calmed me down. So thank you for sharing.
You're welcome.
Okay.
My
Yeah.
voice is something that I've been told is great for audiobooks here.
Yes. You
Okay,
know
I'll
what?
take that into
Yes.
consideration.
Absolutely. And I would say it's a go. And please do those audiobooks because, yes, there's something very
Okay,
soothing. Yeah.
Annie, you and I have something to talk about. You and I have business to do.
I love that. That's amazing. Thanks so much, Michael. Okay, so I'm going to bring Dorothea on stage. Hi, Dorothea. How are you?
Hello, hello. I am reasonably well. I may need to take a second if I need to cough because I'm still getting over a cold or something. But
Okay.
thank you for welcoming me to the stage. I'm happy to be here again. And my name is Dorothea Anderson, or Dr. Dorothea, as I'm often called. And what I do is I help pharmaceutical companies to bring drug products to life. And I do that by leveraging my analytical skills, my technical and functional skills, project management skills, which is a huge part of what I do, and also my stakeholder management skills, because I work with a lot of different clients and a lot of different personalities, both with the clients and with team members. So sometimes it's a little bit of a challenge to get everybody on the same page, talking the same language, um, which kind of goes along with my love languages, I think, which help to bring me peace. Now, someone mentioned earlier that human touch, that's something that we can't live without, and physical touch is one of my top three love languages. Words of affirmation, and Michael, just your speaking, the calmness of your voice, and what you spoke about, that actually brings me quite a bit of peace right at the moment. And also acts of service. And as you can see here, I have on a shirt that says Live United. Several years ago, I participated in a campaign for the United Way. And Live United is all about giving, advocating, and volunteering. And one thing that I noticed about my life in terms of peace is that I have done those different things in terms of how I give back to my communities over time. And there seemed to be sometimes an inverse relationship between um, how much time I spent advocating and how much work I was doing. And at that time, I was actually able to kind of blend those types of things to be able to give back. And also, I wouldn't say an inverse, I would say a direct relationship between how much I give in terms of funding to organizations um, and the level of work that I'm doing as well. But because acts of service is such a big part of who I am and one of my love languages, when I am doing those sorts of things, able to do those sorts of things, that brings me a significant amount of peace, right? I think it goes back to what Jamie and some others said. When I'm doing that, I am also surrounding myself by like-minded individuals and by positive individuals, right? Because we're all trying to do something to uplift the community. And I get a lot of energy from that. While I am giving out a lot of energy, I feel like I'm getting back more than I'm ever able to put out. And so I really appreciate that. Um, and I'm not sure who mentioned it earlier. It might have been Zion, but in terms of finding it hard to forgive others, in the past, I sort of, maybe it's because I'm a Taurus, I don't know, but I can hold a grudge. I can hold a grudge until the end of time if I don't watch myself, right? And I think that if you are finding it hard to forgive others, do what I have sort of started doing, which is try to understand what's happening inside of me. Why am I having such a hard time of forgiving that person for doing that thing, right? And so I can say that I'm 60 years old now, and I think that I had not totally forgiven someone who hurt me when I was a child, therefore not at peace with that even after many years of therapy, who hurt me in a way that children should never be hurt. right? And it was a close family friend who did it. And recently, even though I wasn't physically in contact with that person, one of my family members was, and I received a Christmas card uh, from him. And it was shocking, I have to say. And I think that probably that last little bit that I had not forgiven, uh, partially because of what he did, but I think also because I still hadn't totally healed that little girl inside that was hurt, and I still hadn't allowed her to feel that peace yet, right? And I think that allowed me to step over that last threshold that I needed to step over. And because I know that, going forward, there are going to be times when I have to be in that person's presence because they are such a part of our family. But I won't be in that presence, and I won't still be that frightened little girl who's holding on to that last bit of a grudge, right? I can be at peace. And as that person is getting closer to the end of their life, then maybe I'll be able to actually say the words and give that person some peace before they do pass. So that's what I have to say for today. But like I said, if you're having problems with peace, with not forgiving others, it could be that maybe there's some part of you that, haven't forgiven yourself. The adult me can say that, I'm not sure what I could have done as a child to protect myself, but now I can hug that child and say, hey, I'm here for you and I can protect you now. And we can both forgive this person and find peace. So that's it. Thank you for giving me the stage.
Wow, thank you so much. Thanks for sharing. That was personal, and congratulations on coming so far in your journey, because as you said, I don't think it's just as simple as you forgive right away. It's not always like that, right? And this is
Yeah.
obviously, this was very traumatic for you, and also having that person in your life still, that is quite a journey. And I think it's important for people listening too to know that sometimes it can be quicker and sometimes it can take a very long time, but every piece of progress is still progress, right? And it leads you to a more peaceful state. I think that's, and I also loved what you shared about the love languages, because obviously that's a book, The Five Love Languages, for those who don't know, and we talk about it in terms of relationship, but how you actually use that to find peace. Your love languages bring you peace. It's not to get something, but you using it in a different way. I never heard that about the subject. So thank you so much for sharing. I also wanted to ask, you said it's called Live United. Do you have a website or something for that? Like where people can volunteer? You mentioned volunteering.
Right. So it's through the United Way. And I know that they have United Way, not just United in the US, but in other places as well. If you type in Live United, you'll get all kinds of information will come up. Right. And connect you with, if you're in the US, the United Way of whatever city you are in, there's some organization. If you have time, I encourage you to volunteer. They have a lot of great opportunities to volunteer. If you like kids, especially little kids, you can participate in the Head Start program by going in and volunteering to read or coloring projects and different things like that. I've also participated through work and have run some fundraising campaigns at work, those types of things. So yeah, get involved, find a way, whatever your local organizations are in your community, get involved and give what you can give. If it's time, when I was a student, all I had was time, no money. And, as I've progressed, I've been able to more mix it up. Sometimes it's time, it's always, some type of money, sometimes it's time, and those types of things. And it's always advocating for those individuals who sometimes can't advocate for themselves.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you so much. Thanks for sharing. And yeah, thank you for using, your pain and turning it into something good. Yeah, very moved by your story.
Likewise, the same from me for sure. Who spoke to Linda? Linda says, Dr. Dorothy, I feel your pain. Big hugs. Yeah, I think that we'll all sympathize with that for sure. Right, I think we're getting towards the end. So last week, when we got to this stage, I was thinking, right, we're going to finish on time. We can finish on time, Any thought to himself. And 10 past 9, we're still here, right? So let's try and avoid that today. I do have another event. Now, Lydia, I'm curious to learn how you work with people to find peace.
You know, one of the biggest ways to peace is just what Dr. Dorothea was saying, uh, and something we can each embrace is that forgiveness, right? But that's not always. I think my first superpower, and you can think this back to this on your own, but my first superpower as a little kid was compassion. And that compassion for me, it wasn't hard for me to find compassion, but for some people, it might be forgiveness, and then that can be your first way through. For some people, your superpower might be gratitude. It might be the thing. Everybody's born with something. It's like your starting tech, and that starting tech is what you can employ, and then you learn the other things. And whatever we use is perfect for us at the time. And I can relate in spades to everything everybody's said here. The early childhood, the mid childhood, the late childhood, the deathbeds, the life-changing things. And the thing for each of us to remember is not to lift the pain, but to lift the transformation. Because in that transformation is the peace. So, and until we can do that, doing things like everybody's talked about, what do you want? What do you love? And what do you love right now? Do you love music? Do you love dance? If you can't feel the dance, can you watch dancers? Can you hear the music and find something? Can you give yourself a hug? Can you notice your breath? Can you reach out to someone and ask for help? How can you first find peace? Because the peace is inside of us, but it's very hard to hear it when we're trying to figure out forgiveness or figure out compassion. And that's okay. Use whatever you have in you, because you have a spark that helps you to get through. So Annie, I think that not attaching to the pain, but attaching to the transformation, and we around anybody in any situation can lift the transformation. Anyway, we are getting to be right on time. Annie, it's kind of it's a rare moment that we can embrace. As we are finishing up here, are there any last comments? Let's go around. We heard some of Annie's last comments. Zion, we haven't heard from you in a little while. Let's hear from you.
All right. Thank you so much, Lydia, for being an amazing super host for today. It's always a privilege to see everybody smile, share in the humor and in the energy that Will brings. It's been a powerful share. You're hearing from practical step on how persons have been able to embrace peace through the power of positivity. And I love in the comment what Rosemary said. She said that my way of finding peace is practicing gratitude. I like that comment now, which is very profound. And for me, it's something that I find very interesting as well, embracing gratitude. And Simona, you mentioned prayers. Wow, that was so spot on. Prayer is very, very important. I'm also on a journey of using prayer as well, to be in that place where I just find peace. When I pray, I find peace and I just let laid in the feet of God and just move on. So I want to say very big thank you to everyone who has joined us here. Now we are not just saying it just for the sake of it. We are saying it because we are sharing our life story to inspire you, to motivate you, and to encourage you. If you know someone who needs to hear this, they are going through a tough time, they are going through a time of chaos, share this video with them. Let them come and listen to people's testimony on how they are embracing peace. We are not talking from because of what we read in book. We are sharing practical stories. We are sharing our life stories on how we are able to embrace peace, through the power of positivity. And I know that for anyone who come across this video, probably through the live or the replay, they will surely be blessed because there's so much nugget which have been shared today. So thank you so much, everyone, for sharing, and to you, Lydia, for being our amazing host for today. Yes, you are the chief host for today. I want to say a big thank you. So I'm going to pass the mic now to Jamie, so Jamie can share the last word. We can go around the room then as we round up for today. King Jamie, the mic is yours.
Yeah, sure. Just wanted to say thanks again, everybody, for such a a great conversation today. Like I said, we do this every week, so please make sure that whether this is your first time or you've been here with us for a long time, make sure you share these events. We usually try to get them up pretty quickly, so make sure you share with people. There's people who probably a lot of people who don't know that we do this every week, right? So just letting people know. And, if you see somebody who might be struggling out there on LinkedIn or they're sharing their story or whatnot, and, we want to try to breathe some positivity in them and let them be a part of a community that's continuing to grow, right? In terms of, how we do things, please invite them here. The more, the merrier, and the more we can spread to, as Ian says, all corners of the earth is what we're striving to do. We've got a lot of good stuff we got a lot of stuff we're working on down the line that, we'll share later and whatnot. We always got some different ideas and things we want to keep making this better. So we're excited to share some things in the future, and kind of leave that at that. But yes, I'll pass it over to any of my other co-hosts that want to talk a little bit more and just give their last word.
I can give a last word to my bachelorette. No, just kidding. So I live by a couple of mottos, but definitely, if you're struggling, do the 3 E's, which is eat, exercise, and engage. I came up with that. That's for me, copyrighted. But eat, do something, because that's like a really big sign that you're depressed. And exercise. I can't emphasize that enough. That's another E. Like whenever I felt anxiety from my divorce or sexual trauma, I went down and did 10 push-ups, and boy, did that work. It really works. It's like something just like gets like disengaged in your brain. And so that's a good thing. And also engage. And even if that means, going to Starbucks to do a couple emails to your mom. I mean, like if you don't have a job, like Starbucks has free Wi-Fi. So do that. And so it's a really important thing. And if you can fit my other part, the SEX in there, do that too, because that's really great. But we're not going to talk about that right now because it seems like more of a formal show. So okay.
That's the late night conversation. We'll do that.
Yeah, yeah. But yes, eat, exercise, engage, and laugh.
Awesome. Anyone else? Lydia, go ahead.
I lost my mic. I did. Annie and I, for some reason, struggle more than the rest of you on finding our mics, and I think you should give us a little compassion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you want to say something?
Go for it, girl.
I love this conversation. I thought it was great. It was the first time I joined in a long time, and it was the first time with videos. It was so great to see faces and listen to your stories, and you all always make me laugh and you move me with your stories, and I'm just really, really grateful. And if I want to share something, I think the last thing I want to say is that there's a lot of peace in truth. So I think whether we're looking at where we need to go or about a certain situation or about ourselves, I think truth brings a lot of peace, and it also brings peace in relationships when we are truthful. So yeah, I think that's the last thing that I wanted to share. And thank you so much, everyone. This was so great. That's it. And happy International Women's Day.
Happy International Women's Day, everybody.
Yep, happy International Women's Day.
Thank you.
We have to
And
say
Annie.
too, Zion, otherwise we think we're being sexist. So happy International Women's Day.
With more enthusiasm, though.
Happy International Women's Day. That one. I'm not going that far, Janie. I'm not going that far.
All right.
Opia, I want to welcome you. Thanks for joining us. Ihandor, welcome as well. Thank you all for sharing in the comments as well. Michael, I think, Michael reminding us that it's Ramadan as well, whilst we're here. That's another great thing to celebrate today, and to find your peace. As I say, being in love with yourself is easy. Staying in love with yourself is the actual real journey. Yeah, true. Yeah, so at that point, look, that last I'll say is simply we have to. I think a lot of our peace comes from, or a lot of our distress, unease, lack of peace comes from things that are not ours. I'm talking about our fears. Our fears, our assumptions, our negativity.
Yep.
Most of that is not. It's not our choice. It's not what we. It's not what we create. All I'll say is this, my friends. I've learned to reframe things to avoid those fears that are baseless. And 90% of things we worry about never happen. So I mean, I find peace by not dwelling on those things. Even if I can't control it, I have to just embrace the joy of uncertainty, the joy of possibilities, as I mentioned. That's part of being in a positive mindset mode. So it's easy to let our fears run wild and then say, no, what if, what if I lose my job? What if my wife leaves me? What if my kids hate their next stepdad? What if that's a bit far, right? Let's catch ourselves on the first one and say, what if I lose my job? Something else can happen apart from the disaster that we tend to predict, and which gives us total distress. Now let's embrace what could happen that goes well. I do a run called What If? What if it goes well? What if you become that person that you want to be? What if your life is so glorious? It's beyond anything you can imagine. That's a possibility, right? Let's stay in that space. That gives us more peace than anything else. Yeah. Hopefully that helps someone. If it does, excellent. Joni, we love your 3 E's. Of course we do. So Kiefer says we love the 3 E's, Joni. E's exercise and each. Yeah. Thank you, everyone. If we're doing, Zion is the one with the buttons, right? Mary, we'll see you now as well. Thank you, Mary. Sorry, Lydia, I'll stop talking.
Oh, I was going to say, go ahead and close out the room. Only I believe you can do, but maybe it's Zion that has the controls. Whatever.
Yes.
Joni, did you have
Thank you
something
so
to
much,
say?
Lydia.
This is what was sent to us. Hey. Mr. Music over there, Mr. Michael, he sent us this.
Nice.
Very nice.
I love it, Michael. I love it. You're doing good. You're doing good, brother.
Michael loves his music. Look, my friends, enjoy your weekend. We'll see you again next Friday, hopefully. Now we're gonna go through the comments and respond and connect and engage. I would suggest you do the same because you never know who you might want, you might resonate with, who might want, you might be able to help, or they can help you, right? All right. Joey, I'm gonna play outgoing music, and then we'll close the
I
show.
was trying to play Michael's song, but
It's all right.
it was really great. I
Connect
loved
with
it.
Joe and Michael and hear some more. That's what I say, all right? Bye, everyone. Bye, everyone.
See
Enjoy.
Bye,
y'all later.
everyone. Have a
Have
good
a good
week.
one.
Bye.
Celebrate it with or without champagne or rum. Achieve success with Global.Media.com.